Hey folks, welcome back to the Leeds Gamer. Just before we get into the details, do please hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do please give the video a like and a hype as well, that'd be really appreciated. And also, are you a Leeds United fan? And if so, would you want to be part of a new Leeds United podcast? I'm looking to create one on the channel, and the only requirements is that obviously you're a Leeds fan that gets to be able to see the games, and then secondly that you've got some kind of device, whether it be a webcam or a device with visual and audio camera on it, so that you could join it. So yeah, if you are interested in being part of that, you could either be a regular weekly guest, or you could be someone that just comes on from time to time. Either would be absolutely fine. I'd be looking at the podcast being anywhere from half an hour to an hour, and I'll be doing it on a weekly basis. So if anything like that takes your interest, do please let me know. So yeah, let's get into the video. So I just thought to myself, if money was no object, and as long as we're staying Premier League, if I could choose one player from every Premier League squad, who would I want to see join Leeds? So, starting with Bournemouth, I'm going to try and get through these as fast as I can. It's 20 teams. Probably Lewis Cook, if he's still got the legs, with that very quick burst of pace that he used to have when he was at Leeds. Yeah, probably Cook out of that lot. There aren't too many. I mean, like Tavernier were born in Leeds, wasn't he? I think. Looked quite bright in the Championship, but is he any good at Premier League? I'm not sure. There aren't many in that Bournemouth squad, to be honest. I'll just see if there's anyone in the under-21 sections. See, like every under-21 section on this Premier League website is absolutely stacked. We've got just got so many players. So it'd take too long to go through them all. Arsenal, now they've got a good squad, I'm not going to lie. I can see why they're top of the league. Yeah, there's at least half a dozen I'd take out of Arsenal, I think, without any real hesitation. Who would I like the most? Possibly. I mean, you could choose anyone from Ben White, who would complement our defensive line really well. He's played at Leeds before. And then you've got the likes of Zubimendi, Timber, they've got some good players here, haven't they? Let's not beat around the bush about it. Eze's not bad, is he? Calafiori looks quite good. Magalhaes, the centre back's really solid, isn't he? Let's go for a bit of an outside choice. Let's go Jurriën Timber. I think he's looked pretty good. But any of those I've just mentioned, would be an attractive prospect to be at Leeds United. Aston Villa. Certainly not as good as Arsenal, that's for sure. I'm not really feeling it with Aston Villa's squad. I'm surprised they're as high up the table as they are. I don't think they're superb. And possibly Buendia, just because I know that he can be a very creative player, and a creative attacking midfielder is something that we're definitely going to need this summer. So yeah, maybe Buendia, but they're not blessed with amazing quality, Villa. That's not as good a squad as I thought they had, when looking at it like that. Brentford, I mean, one of the obvious choices would be Igor Thiago, because he's scored 19 goals, but would he do that on a regular basis every season? That remains to be seen, isn't it? Leeds have kept him quiet in both games that Leeds have had against Brentford. So you know, surely you can't be that amazing. I think Ayer's not a bad player. He's a decent defender. Um, but yeah, honest to God, I'm not really feeling it with Brentford squad. Maybe Shada. Yeah, difficult one that. I'll go Ayer as a backup defender. I'm not feeling it with their squad at all. They've got a lot of youngsters, haven't they? Brighton. There's a couple of obvious standouts: Milner, Matoma, and Rutter. I'd take any of those three. Just keep it simple. I'd take any of those three for different reasons. Burnley, this is difficult. I thought Jayden Anthony looked okay when he had his loan spell at Leeds without being amazing. Hartman could be a decent backup to Gabby at left back possibly. Maybe Connor Roberts again, but I mean he'd only be a backup at right back. But Roberts did look okay when he came on loan at Leeds. Burnley just aren't blessed with quality in their squad, so that really is difficult. Chelsea, I mean, they just play a pull for the sake of it, don't they? A lot of young players though. There's only 17 over the age of 21 according to this. Let's go Caicedo. I think Caicedo. I think he's a decent player. Like Chelsea didn't look very good without him when Leeds played against Chelsea. So I'd probably go him. Moving on. And look at that, 67 players under the age of 21. That's disgusting. Right. Crystal Palace. Kamada. I mean, I've said it umpteen times. I do like the way that Japan and South Korea play. Maybe Tarek Mitchell as a backup left back to Gabby. That would be another option. Yeah. Moving on. Everton. They're not blessed with amazing players, are they either? I'm not right impressed with some of these squads, I can't lie. There's not a lot of players sticking out for me, really. Again, we need a backup left back, so maybe Mikolenko would be a decent backup left back. Their two young centre backs aren't bad actually, Branthwaite and O'Brien. I think both of those have got some potential. I think both relatively young. Grealish is out on loan, isn't he? So yeah, it'll probably be a toss up between all of those I've just mentioned. I think I'm really not feeling it with Everton's squad either. Moving on. Fulham. Anderson's not a bad centre back. I think Leeds were looking at inquiring about Sasa Lukic at one point. So I think like Kevin Santos looked as if he had a little bit of potential when he came on as a substitute against Leeds, but yeah, they're not blessed with a lot of quality either. I'd go with Anderson, I think. Leeds, awesome. They're brilliant. No issues there. Liverpool. Gears not a bad player. Endo's good. I just think some of these are just completely overrated and overpriced. If we'd be told, most would go for Salah, wouldn't they? But or Isaac or Van Dijk. You know, it's all regular ones. I go a bit deeper into this. More like who would actually be a good fit at Leeds, really. I'd possibly consider Endo out of that lot. I mean, again, Ekatiki's looked decent in spells, but he hasn't scored as many as I thought he was going to. I say Kiers is a good player. So yeah, maybe between him and Endo. So moving on to Man City, Haaland. There's again a bit like Arsenal. There's about half a dozen in this squad that I would quite happily take, but it's Haaland all the way. It's that simple. We don't need to waste time on it. I'm not having anyone from Scum. Forget them. Newcastle. Tonelli. Like him and Chiesa, they're both quite good Italian players, aren't they? You've got the choice of the two Brazilian midfielders as well, Kamarish and Joelinton. But again, I thought Leeds' midfield coped with those against Newcastle for the most part. So yeah, probably out of those, I'd and again, I mean, we've looked at their two goalkeepers before now as well, haven't we, with Pope and Ramsdale. But yeah, Botman's not a bad centre back, I guess. I can't stand Barnes. He only ever turns up when he plays against Leeds, so forget him. So yeah, I think out of all this lot, yeah, probably Tonelli, I think. But there's one or two. Forest. I mean, their squad should be so bloated based on the fact that they just buy everyone anyway. Elliot Anderson's the obvious one, I would say, out of that bunch. Seems a fairly talented midfielder. There aren't that many at all. Like, Sells looked like a decent goalkeeper at one point, didn't he? And Leeds will need to sort out the goalkeeping department this summer. Moving on to Sunderland. I mean, without Xhaka, they've struggled, haven't they? So it'd have to be Xhaka, just based on the influence that he's had on that team. So yeah, Xhaka, simple. Archie Gray at Tottenham. Again, you've got a couple of other decent players, like Bergvall looks like a decent prospect, doesn't he? But there's really not a lot going at Tottenham, in my opinion. And there's a bunch of seriously overpaid prima donnas there. So for me, yeah, Archie Gray, easy choice, easy choice. West Ham. Well, their squads all aren't brilliant. I'd probably have to go Somerville. Honestly, I'd probably have to go Somerville out of this bunch. Yeah. And then finally Wolves. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Probably a toss-up between, like, I think there's a decent player in Hwang if you can get the best out of him. I think Hwang would be half decent. It just depends on the players around him. He's played in a couple of really crappy Wolves squads, hasn't he? So yeah, probably Hwang or maybe Krejci. I thought he looked alright against Leeds, the Czech player. So yeah, there we go, really. So yeah, that's it. That's the whole bunch. So when looking through it all, I'm not all that impressed, with the squads that are available, but that's a rough idea as to who I would take from each squad. Just trying to keep it to one or two or three in the case of where the squads are decent. But when I look at it all, like I'm not that impressed. I'm really not that impressed with a lot of these squads. I don't think they're that great. Like, is the Leeds squad so bad in comparison to some of these others? I think, I'm probably being biased when I say this, but I think Leeds is probably like a mid-table squad. When I look at all this, and I see all of the other squads, I don't think the other squads are that great. I really don't. But yeah, I'll leave it there, folks. Let me know, which players would you choose? If you could choose one player from each of these squads to join Leeds United, who would it be? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, just a reminder, if you'd be interested in joining me on creating a Leeds United podcast, then do please let me know. And again, all the regular good stuff, do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any future content. And do please like and hype the video as well. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye for now.